Broadcasting from New York, New York. It's Grant's Rants, Hollywood Talk.
The Thanksgiving panel returns. We goof on Oprah's favorite things. Britney calls out Christina. We react to the latest Ronay news and Ultimate Girls Trip. Don't miss our annual roundtable of what we are and are not thankful for. From SJP, White Lotus, Saucy Santana, and even Kim and Pete. That and more with Fern, Ronay, and Justin T. Heath. Let the ranting begin. I am glad to be back with a Thanksgiving panel. I feel like I haven't done this in a while, even though I think I did this last year, but regardless, here we are. We're doing it virtually, which means I can pick anyone I want to be on this panel, which made it quite easy. Here is Fern, Ronay, author and podcast host. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, I'm so excited.
Fern, like I say it every time, I think you're the most guested guest.
I'm so honored.
But it's been a while because I've been quite inconsistent. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
And from many years ago, it seems, Justin T. Heath, the reality TV producer, is back on the pod. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's been a long time and a crazy journey to and from Hollywood, but still doing the thing.
Yeah, we're both East Coast based now, right? Is that the latest?
That's correct. I'm from New Jersey proudly, still. And I'm happy to be here, embracing the whole kind of Sopranos vibe and, just living out my Hollywood fantasy from New Jersey. And it's kind of amazing.
Well, listeners should know, Fern and Justin know one another. We don't know each other through each other, but the world's keeps us connected.
My college boyfriend is Justin's cousin, and I knew Justin when he was so little.
And I thought Fern was just the most beautiful thing, amazing hair, and I was obsessed.
Wow, what a small world! So it makes for an interesting
small world.
It makes for an interesting group of people, right? So let's get started with this. This is such a formatted show, but we always start with a story at the top and then we get into our Oprah's favorite things and other nonsense. So let's get into it, talking a little bit. We are now in this hashtag freed Britney era, and Britney is reclaiming her body and her voice. And some people have a lot to say about it. And other people haven't said enough in the past. So I want to get your take. Last episode, I really blasted Lady Gaga on this podcast for not supporting Britney. And now she's got a lot to say all of a sudden, where there's a movie being premiered. I find Gaga to be fake as hell, so I still don't have any real interest in her. But I don't know. What do you guys make of this free Britney era, this freed Britney era?
Well, I have to say, just off the bat, Grant, I have always admired your willingness to just state your opinion and cause a little controversy and get people talking. I disagree on the Lady Gaga front. I do think that since she first emerged as a young pop star, always had admiration for Britney publicly. I do think, like most other celebrities and artists and anyone kind of in the field, she's doing it on her own promotional tour. And when there's more eyeballs on her and she wants to be in the press anyway. So she's a bit opportunistic, sure, but that's the business. But I think that there is genuine empathy there for Britney. And I think, most interesting about kind of where she's headed with Christina and where all the talk is around that. I think that it's interesting that Lady Gaga has chosen to make a statement about men in the industry and kind of men being in control in a lot of these situations. So that's kind of where I'm at with the two of them right now.
Yeah. Fern, what do you think?
No, I think it's interesting that Britney was annoyed that Christina didn't say something. And I'll explain real quick. Britney rarely makes Insta stories, but there was one story where they showed a video clip of Christina at I believe the Latin Grammys. She looked to her publicist when asked about Free Britney. She didn't want to answer. She did say a nice thing about Britney, but quickly moved on. A lot of people blame the publicist for this, and which I think is rightfully so. I mean, I think basically there's probably a rule, right? Like, we're not going to talk about
Britney, don't ask her about it. And then she looks to her publicist, and Britney made a thing, and I just do want to read this. If I can find it, which I would like to read this statement just so we can kind of like all weigh in, and then we'll get to your thought. But Britney said in response to this video, she said, "I love and adore everyone who supported me, but refusing to speak when you know the truth is equivalent to a lie. 13 years being in a corrupt, abusive system, yet why is it such a hard topic for people to talk about? I'm the one who went through it. All the supporters who spoke up and supported me, thank you. Yes, I do matter." Okay, go ahead.
Right. But well, part of me feels like Christina doesn't owe her any, like she supported her in June. She wrote like a nice something, she was supportive of her. She said in response to this, like the small comment she made was like, "I'm just happy for her," which is the whole point. Like we just want her to be happy and she's happy for her. But to your point, Justin, I think Britney feels like everyone has observed young women get abused in this industry for years and no one said anything. And now's the time to say something. And Christina had the opportunity and she didn't. So I feel like Britney feels like just be like, now's the time, be like, say something.
Right.
And in that moment, it was just so ironic because Christina's literally looking over her shoulder at a man for permission to say something.
Right. If that doesn't exemplify,
like,
right. Exactly. But on the other hand, I do feel like Britney is in a place where, where someone's done you wrong and then you want everyone, like you're kind of like in that mode where it's like black and white thinking, like you're either with me or you're against me. And she is in that mode right now. She's just, she's like a wounded animal. She's just getting out of this and she's in that place. And I feel like that's like was just such a natural reaction. Like, you're my friend, you're supposed to be on my side, like say something and in support of me.
I mean, if to me, like Christina lost a lot of points in that video, but she's still ahead of Gaga in my point of view. Of course, Britney feels differently, and she seems to there was a back and forth of stories with her and Lady Gaga. I don't care about Gaga showing up at the last minute at all. I am so disenchanted by Stephanie, I can't even tell you. So
I'm rooting for all of them. Brands, come on.
So, but I mean, I think it was a little unfair on the Christina part but again, Christina did say something like you said for it in June. But yeah, Britney needs to catch up. And now Christina apparently allegedly wants to have like a private conversation with Britney. All right. I mean, sure, I guess. But I don't know. That's kind of my thought on this. As long as Britney's happy with people or she's knows we know where she stands, whatever. But I feel different.
People also forgot because Britney has been under this conservatorship for so long. Like Britney always was very outspoken. She was a sweet girl, but she also was like, do not piss her off. And some of those final days before the conservatorship went into place, she was just being like really outspoken. She was cursing off the paparazzi, and it was big. It's Britney bitch energy.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see like who this person is coming out of this. Like who is she recognizable? Is it she a whole new person? Are we going back to where we were before? I have to say, seeing the all the stories pertaining to Christina versus Britney come back made me feel young again. And I actually really do love this story for that reason. Even though it's the problem, right? It's two women being pitted against each other and all this, slamming Christina. I mean, none of this really happened, but it's all in the headline.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's move on to Oprah's favorite things. I don't know why I continue to resurrect this tired old list. But
it's relevant as ever.
Is it though?
Still kicking. Oprah's still kicking.
Yes, and still cashing in with this list with Amazon and company. I mean, this is 110 items, whether we want them or not. And here they are. First of all, initial thoughts on this list. My first thought: too much food. I don't need all this food. I don't gift food. I'm not buying food for people, so half of it was useless.
Oh, I totally disagree. I think people love food. It's something that like people will actually use. I love a good popcorn tin for the holidays.
Oh, useless. Do you gift food though? Really?
It depends. Like a little cookie, like a panettone.
Okay.
Just something sweet. I saw a lot of Advent calendars that have chocolates inside and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think people appreciate that and they'll eat it. And the holidays is centered around food in a lot of ways. So that makes sense to me.
Fern?
I'm with you 100%. I saw all the food and I was like, I love a food gift because it's useful. Like I can't stand gadgets I'm not going to use. I can't stand things I'm not going to use. I can't stand like, well, when we get to it, I have this like whole thought about things and clutter and I'm just like so sick of it.
Yeah.
So the food, I'll take it any day over things I don't need.
See, I find this as a thing. What the hell number is it? 107 on this list. Spice up your life, countertop rack. She says, I love a good kitchen accessory you delight in seeing displayed on your counter. This is a streamlined spice rack. Yes, there's like, how many jars are here? Jesus Christ, there's like 14 jars in an amber glass. It's just spices. This to me is a total dust collector. Who would want this? And I don't consider this as a gift. I don't consider this a gift. This is a problem.
I was like, I love the spice rack. I think it's so, yes, I'm all about clean lines lately. Like I hate like things that take up too much space. I loved it.
For $249, it's available. Evermill.com.
Where I drew the line at the price. I was like, this seems overpriced, and certain gifts can feel like almost like an invasive gift giver. Like it might be you're saying something about the person. So it's like, if I'm gifting you the organizer thing, am I saying you're disorganized? Am I saying that, I hate the way you're displaying your spices? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, like I am not a cook. That's the difference. For you like to cook. I am not a cook.
Cooking.
So like this would be a total dust collector for me. This is in a studio apartment, a major issue because I don't know what to do with it. But I like amber glass, but I don't need all these little jars hanging around. No.
Right.
All right. That was my first, anti-choice. All right, Justin, what poked out to you first?
So again, bringing it back around to food. Now I there are a few things I like on this list, and things I don't. So I'll just kind of run through a few of them quickly. Obsessed with Flamingo Estate. There are a series of candles that are part of this list. They are scented like herb garden vegetables, among other things. Flamingo Estate is this amazing property in Los Angeles, in the hills, and they sell all sorts of lifestyle goodies, soaps, shampoos, lotions, but everything kind of based out of this beautiful garden. And the property is just like this gorgeous, picturesque place, roses and like almost not quite Chateau Marmont, a little bit of like an Italian villa if you dropped it in the Los Angeles mountains. So it's really, really cool.
Oh. I would accept a gift like that.
Yeah.
I would accept a gift like that. So most of the stuff I would not accept, but that I would accept.
The good one. I own some of their products, but I will also say the Philips Pasta Maker Plus. Like I've never actually made homemade pasta, but I've always kind of wanted to. So that definitely jumped out to me, but it's one of those gifts where it's like, in my fantasy it works, but in reality it might not go so well.
That looked expensive. What was the price on that?
Oh, I think it was like almost $400 maybe. But what I've also learned from viral sensation, the Pasta Queen. I don't know if you all follow this woman on TikTok and Instagram. She's got over 1 million followers. She was on the Drew Barrymore show this week. She's going to be on the American Music Awards tonight. I don't know how this is happening, but she is this Italian chef / influencer called the Pasta Queen. And what I've learned from her is that authentic Italians actually cook mostly with dry pasta. So maybe it's not a good idea to go all in on this fancy Philips pasta maker if that's not really the authentic way to do it. And then as far as things that I don't like, the Amazon Echo Show, listed on this list, again, that feels like an invasive sort of gift. It's like, if I want Alexa in my house, I want to be able to decide for myself. I don't want you gifting this tech gadget to me.
That to me was like an Amazon Oprah partnership. Like she's not using that. They're putting that on her here. Put this on the list because I'm sure she has some deal with Amazon. I'm still, all these years later, not sold on these smart speakers. We were told they were the next big medium, and I'm not seeing one in every home.
I love my Sonos. I stand by the Sonos, but yeah, I don't know. I don't use Alexa all that often. And she does listen and respond when I don't even call her name. So
Yeah.
Scary.
Siri does that with me.
So speaking of food, I love that truffle set. There was like 3 things that were truffle like related, like truffle sauce, truffle oil. And I've seen that somewhere else and I almost bought it for myself because I have visions of making truffle mac and cheese. So I was like, I wouldn't mind getting that. But the thing that I could not get over was the stuffed animal, like it was like a koala bear, some other stuffed thing that you like microwave it and you like stuff it with oils. Such a dust collector, such a like that will never like I have a heating pad and then I put it away and I put it in my closet and it's not out. It's one of those things that would be out and annoying, and what adult needs a stuffed animal?
Number 74 on the list, Heaven Sent. They're $40 each, and they have a removable pouch with either lavender or eucalyptus that you can microwave for a few seconds and place the stuffed animal. I don't know, somewhere. I don't know where it goes, but
for adults, you can buy like pouches and stones that do that. You don't need
I kind of liked this. I mean, I don't need a stuffed animal in my life. I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
For a kid, it's something. I mean, a kid actually, I don't even know if a kid would even want anything like this. Like,
I know a lot of adults who would love this.
Yeah, I just don't know, like, what kid would be like, what? Like,
Not
you
me.
put it in the microwave? Like, kids aren't gonna want
It smells
this.
like lavender, right?
Yeah, I don't know. What else? What else you looking at?
Those were the things that caught my eye. Of course, there was something from SJP. You know, I love her, my Sarah Jessica.
Oh, the
Parker.
shoe bag.
Yeah, the shoe bag. It looked so. I love the way it was organized.
Oh yeah, good. Number 92 on the list.
But it was like $300.
Yes,
that's a little bit overpriced. Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, oh, you could just buy a cute bag that you use for your shoes. That's not going to be $300 versus this plain.
I know, Samsonite. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
It really, honestly, for those listening, it looks like anything else. It almost looks like a bag that you would take maybe out to like the beach. You know, there's nothing that, but I guess her name, SJP by Sarah Jessica Parker by Samsonite, is a big draw. Is that like the $300?
There was like organizational like pieces within it to organize like your heels, but I could be wrong.
You know, that makes sense.
It is.
You know, she's continuing to just like run her the brand identity of Sex and the City is like so much around shoes, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it is an organized fashion. Convertible duffel. But yeah, I just think it's like such like a ploy just because they slapped her name on it. It's like, this is like, I feel like you could find this on an end cap at Target very easily.
Agreed.
But yeah, what else do I have on this list? There was number 93, Get Virtual. Now, I was never into it's $300. It's one of those goggles that you go put on the Oculus. Yeah. This was another thing like 10 years ago that was supposed to be like the next big entertainment medium. Everyone's gonna be watching movies with goggles on, and it never really blew up. But the description she gave kind of piqued my interest because she talks about virtual reality. You could take fitness classes. No one's going to do that with this, by the way. But she says that she visited the Louvre in the comfort of her own home. And I'm kind of like, oh, you know what? I would love to escape the winter being back on the East Coast. So maybe there'd be something to this. Maybe I'm finally coming around to these virtual reality things, but it is $300.
You can go to the beach.
People keep dying at concerts. Then maybe I'm going to do a virtual one instead.
A concert virtual thing could actually be interesting.
Well, I think during the pandemic, you know, ironically, Travis Scott had huge virtual concerts on Fortnite, PS5, PS4 game. And I believe that you could attend with your Oculus goggles and kind of exist in that world. And then you could play as Ariana, as you know. So I don't know. I think the virtual world, I agree with you, Grant, that it's was kind of sold to us as the next big thing, and it's not really, but it is kind of like a secondary part of it's another part of the metaverse, right?
Yeah,
that we're all trying to like deal with.
I went to before this is pre-COVID, like a group activity with the company, and we went to a video game bar that had all virtual reality headsets, and I don't know. I still didn't get really anything out of it. I don't need to play games. You know, they got you jumping and leaping and all this stuff. I think it's such a waste of time. So I'd rather like watch something. Like, sure, like let me look at Niagara Falls. Let me like, you know, go to a concert and look around it up and down. That I would do. But again, I'm not spending. There's no way I'm spending $300 on that. They're still very expensive. I thought they would come down by now.
Not with what is it? Inflation's going through the roof.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Well, speaking of expensive, this is for your big spenders. Number 55 on this list, Ronay, the live outdoor reality rower, or is it live? The live outdoor reality rower. That's probably what it is. And home workouts are still where it's at. Okay, Oprah. And this is, you know, low impact way to sweat. Has a 22-inch live touch screen, blah, blah, blah. When you're done, the rower stores upright, so that's good. And then she has to finish it off. Gail has gifted it to a few of her pals. So I always live for a Gail reference.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can never choose between the two. I want them, and ideally they're both together.
Well, Gail is, again, that CBS Mornings money is good because this is $2,295 plus a $38 monthly membership. So if you're giving this as a gift, I mean, you've really got a lot of money to spend.
Yeah, well,
that's one of those gifts too. That's like, why are you giving this to someone?
Don't give it to.
Please,
don't give it to me. But like big gifts like that, it's like I want to buy it for myself almost. You know?
Right.
Yeah. And then you're committing someone to this $38 a month subscription fee, and they're like, "Well,
absolutely not."
Like, what happens if I don't pay for it? Now it's a complete waste of time, and I don't want to spend $40 a month to row.
Exactly.
Keep it simple and old school.
Yeah. And then I mean, I feel like I'm going to get attacked because you guys love food so much, but I did want to call out that there was this, I'm not a mustard person, but not so mellow yellow wilder mustard quartet. No.
That's not how you sell it to me. Don't sell me a product to make me think of urine.
Oh, is that what it did?
The name. That's what I thought of. I thought of that like old nursery rhyme, and I was just kind of turned off. And you know, I've only gotten into mustard in my adulthood, so I just didn't like the name. Turn me off.
I'll take it. I'll take all the mustards.
I'll give you my gifts, Fern.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, this one features another name drop. We are a hot sauce and mustard household, says Oprah, and Stedman has given these his stamp of approval. Okay, so $35, number 99. And Oprah, why are we still hawking digital picture frames? I mean, it's so tired and old. No, if you don't have one by now, you don't want one, and I don't.
Yeah, agreed.
Me neither.
When we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit about Housewives, of course, you know that, and then we're going to be getting into what we're thankful for, and more importantly, not thankful for. Now this.